Japan keeps hurting China, yet the paper dragon is staying silent and showing uncharacteristic restraint. So, what keeps China quiet? Well, as it turns out, Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was a true visionary. He perfectly knew how to contain China and its belligerents. And despite him being out of office, his legacy lives on through Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, and his policies continue haunting Chinese President Xi Jinping. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Rohan, and in this video, we will discuss how the foresight of Shinzo Abe is forcing Xi Jinping to remain mum even as Japan keeps needling China on key issues. Watch on! Japan has been needling China at all possible levels. Tokyo has been modernizing its defense preparedness with an eye on China, improving its relationship with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and also insisting on keeping Taiwan's right to defend itself alive. Yet, Chinese President Xi Jinping seems to exercise unusual restraint in the face of growing Japanese intent to undermine Beijing's interests. To be precise, Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was a true visionary who calculated how to contain China meticulously. He may have taken retirement from active political life due to health reasons, but Abe's policies continue to haunt China. In fact, his legacy is being carried further by the sitting Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga. China's usual reaction to geopolitical provocations is usually quite sharp, both in terms of words as well as actions. Generally, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokespersons make objectionable and unnecessarily violent remarks as a part of their wolf warrior diplomacy. Moreover, the Chinese government reacts with retaliatory actions, especially when provoked by a regional rival. Take, for instance, South Korea. When South Korea decided to deploy the US-developed anti-missile defense system in 2016, Beijing started squeezing travel to South Korea and putting restrictions on famous Korean entertainment and personalities. China had even started boycotting South Korean products. But Japan's case is different. China has noticed how Japan has forced Biden to keep the Taiwan issue alive and even managed to extract a joint statement on the issue of Chinese aggression against Taiwan. Yet, China's reaction has been very lukewarm. Xi made an indirect reference and did not even name Japan. He said, bossing others around or meddling in others' internal affairs would not get one any support. Impractical threats from loudmouth Chinese officials are also conspicuously missing. The only visible reaction came from the CCP mouthpiece Global Times, which stated, "We advise Japan to stay away from the Taiwan question." It added, "The deeper it is embroiled in, the bigger price it will have to pay." China is clearly forced to exercise restraint even in the face of Japan's aggressive diplomacy. In fact, there is little that China can do to harm Japan. Throughout his tenure, Shinzo Abe ensured that Japan-China relations are drafted in such a way that Beijing enjoys absolutely no leverage over Tokyo. Even last year, when China started turning belligerent, Abe foresaw the need to pull Japanese manufacturing companies out of China. In fact, Tokyo paid as many as 87 of its companies to shift production out of China and relocate either back home or into Southeast Asia. Just in the nick of time, Abe reduced Japan's over-reliance on manufacturing in China drastically. Abe had then earmarked $2.2 billion in Japan's coronavirus economic recovery package to subsidize the relocation of Japanese manufacturers out of China. The effect of the move has been such that the current government in Japan now enjoys wide leverage over Beijing. The moment China makes any move to hurt Japan, the Japanese government can easily move more Japanese companies out of China to hurt the paper dragon. Additionally, the Japan-China trade relations are more or less balanced. As such, Japan or China do not enjoy any trade surplus over each other. Beijing will never have the option of cutting down on imports from Japan without suffering proportionate damage. In the present scenario, China cannot afford to hurt Japan. In fact, China needs Japan. Chinese President Xi Jinping has been begging foreign investors to choose China as their destination. Xi is actually hungry for foreign investments and therefore cannot afford to annoy Tokyo. What many don't know is that Japan is China's third largest source of foreign investment. In case China tries to wage economic warfare against Japan, it will have to remain ready for losing out on even more foreign investments. Abe has therefore left Japan-China relations at such a level where Beijing will only do more harm than good to itself by making any attempt to punish Japan in economic terms. Abe's foresight is thus forcing Xi to remain mum, even as Japan keeps needling China on key issues.